Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. Well, what am I talking about in this video? I got Indiana Jones. We're talking about fortune and glory. Let me get into it. So, first of all, I think it's only right to preface this video by saying I don't know exactly what I am. If I'm Gen X, if I'm a millennial. You know, they used to have this thing called Gen Y. I was born in '82, very early in '82. Many people have said I was the last Gen Xer to sort of roll off the line. I don't know, but I'm definitely less on the millennial side of the spectrum, probably more toward the Gen X side of the spectrum. But if you really want to gain any insight about sort of where I fall generationally in sort of a pop cultural context, it's the fact that really, more than any other Indiana Jones, I grew up on Indiana Jones 2, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. And that's just kind of shows my age, I guess. You know, that came out, I was a young kid, but I can remember it coming out. And one of the lines in it, and one of them I remember, is when Short Round, who's kind of the sidekick Indiana Jones in Indy 2, tells him, you know, why they're going on this quest, so to speak. And he says, "Fortune and glory, kid, fortune and glory." Well, what are we talking about with, why does that have to do with anything going on this channel? Well, I recently read, and I'm going to throw this up on screen because it's actually from the Bangkok Post print edition. And I've been talking a lot about the Bangkok Post and how they need to really walk the line with regard to, you know, perhaps not promoting people that are in direct contravention of restricted occupations here in Thailand, especially when those are the professions. It really galls me that it's just viewed as, oh, it's no problem, foreign lawyers can just be here. No, they can't. And quite honestly, there's a reason for it, because they don't know what they're talking about. And for those who would say, well, you're not really all that qualified for the Thai side. Well, from a comparative law standpoint, I think I'm very qualified to talk about what I talk about. And also, if you've ever noticed on the substantive videos I do on this channel, I don't get deep. And I do go to our Thai attorneys here in the office and ask them and bounce things off them. I even have them review videos from time to time before we put them up. I've never claimed to be a Thai attorney. But that said, yeah, I'm a tax attorney, and yeah, Thai tax law can interact with American tax law, so I do discuss that. But if you're not Thai, you shouldn't be. As we've discussed, and as I've clearly articulated when I've read about the foreign occupations, or restricted occupations to foreigners, I should say. That said, viewers probably ask themselves, what's this guy talking about? Is he just going to rant about foreign lawyers again? No. Actually, I made this video because I'm starting to wonder if maybe the Bangkok Post is ranting back to me in their own pages. Again, sticking this up, I found this in the print edition, so I'm going to go ahead and stick it up from the print edition. The article is titled, "Celeb Lawyers Get Bad Rap." Quoting directly, I'll probably quote most, if not all, of this article, but I urge those who are watching this video, you can probably go to Bangkok Post, bangkokpost.com, and find this for yourself. Again, celeb lawyers get bad rap. Quoting directly, "Most Thais think that, quote, genuine volunteer lawyers, unquote, truly exist, but there are only a few of them, according to a survey of the National Institute of Development Administration." I don't know what it is about the legal profession that there's this, well, if you're not a volunteer, what are you out there doing? What am I out there doing? I'm making a living. It's called doing my job, and yes, I want to be paid for it. You know, quoting further, "The survey gauged public opinion on the existence of pro bono lawyers who help people not for their own interests or fame." Was that a little dig at me, Bangkok Post? Was that a little dig at me? Well, a couple of things here. First of all, yes, I operate in my own interests. And yes, I have a living to make. And yes, I have a family to feed. I'm not going to apologize for that, ever. Meanwhile, fame. Let's think this through for a minute. Anyone who knows me, well especially, knows I did not get into this for fame. And quite honestly, this whole YouTube thing, it was not what I was intending. Honestly, I wanted to be like the guy on public access who was just putting up videos talking about what he can do for you, so hopefully I could drum up some interest in, you know, again, it's promotional. I do get that side. If I am famous, and I'm not gonna stipulate that I am, because if I am, that's the weirdest thing in the world. That's like, I don't know. I've told my friends, I call it Merrill Teller famous, and people are like, what's that mean? Well, there was a weatherman in Wichita who everyone in Kansas knew for probably about the better part of 3 decades, named Merrill Teller, because he was always on the weather. And he lived in Wichita, and people would see him and kind of bother him when he'd be in the grocery store and stuff. And I knew his kid. He went to the same school as I did. He was a lot younger than me, but I heard tell through him that, yeah, okay, everybody knows my dad, but that's not fame, okay? Lack of anonymity and fame are not the same thing. So that I would like to clear that up. That said, if you're going to say that, I'm only looking out for my own interest and I use this particular platform for promotional purposes, well, then I just got to default to Indy's fortune and glory. Because at the end of the day, yeah, I guess that's what I'm going for. Fortune and glory. I'm just trying to do my job. That said, quoting further, the results showed most participants, 52.44%, believe that good volunteer lawyers with integrity do exist, but in small numbers. Again, are these digs at me? Integrity? Okay. Quoting further, about 1/4 said they were not confident pro bono lawyers exist. Honestly, I kind of hope they don't, because they would only drive down the prices of people like me. And honestly, me and other Thai attorneys should be able to make a living. And I'm not a Thai attorney, let me be clear. But I'm saying legal professionals in Thailand that are qualified to do what they do. Not criminals who are in violation of the restricted occupations, but other Thai legal professionals, yeah, they should be able to make money. Do I have any problem with pro bono lawyers per se? No, and they do need to exist on some level. But by the way, for those who are unaware, there is legal aid out there for Thais, and there are practitioners out there that do help Thai people at no cost. And that's laudable. I'm not criticizing that in any way, shape, or form. But that said, am I getting digged at because I like making money? Or not even like making money. I actually don't particularly like making money. I think too much money is more of a problem than it's worth, famous last words. But honestly, that really is how I feel. But my question is, so is the dig at me because I want to make a living? Quoting further, about 1/4, 26.56%, said they were not confident pro bono lawyers exist, while 16.88% said they do not exist. So they're like figments of your imagination. Quoting further, only 4.2% said good volunteer lawyers with integrity still exist, and there are a lot of them. Quoting further, when asked seeking service or advice from professional lawyers and whether they trusted those they sought out, the answers varied. Almost half, 42.06%, said they trust them a fair amount. 36.11% said they slightly trust them, and 8.78% said they trust them a lot, while 12.52% said they don't trust them at all. Well, what's that line from that song, Night That the Lights Went Out in Georgia? Don't trust your soul to no backwoods Southern lawyer. Quoting further, when asked who or which organizations they would go to for justice, both in terms of filing a lawsuit or facing one, 42.06%, so that's a big number, this poll, said the Interior Ministry's Damrong Dama Center. So basically, they said they go to the Interior Ministry. I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. Quoting further, 19.16%, the Office of Civil Rights Protection and Legal Aid. And the reason I'm reading all this out is so that folks who may have like a Thai spouse or something, they'll say, well, who do we go to for a lawyer? Well, this is who Thais should go to. I'm not against Thais being in the legal profession. It's their legal profession. What bothers me is foreigners who have come in and fraudulently operated in that space. Quoting further, the Office of Civil Rights Protection and Legal Aid, 12.83% concerned associations, foundations, and NGOs. Well, be careful with the NGOs. If it's a foreign one, quoting further, while 11.68% said they would call volunteer lawyers from the Lawyer Council. Yeah, again, I'm reading that because for those who are, especially Thais, and for those out there who are like, well, what Thais watch you? There are English-speaking Thais who do watch this channel and they communicate with me. Yeah, there's another source of where you can go to find competent legal representation. That right there. Again, Ministry of Interior, Office of Civil Rights Protection and Legal Aid, Lawyers Council, all good places to check with. Meanwhile, I don't know why you're doing this, Bangkok Post, because you don't seem like you particularly care if you're continuing to promote people who are operating illegally. That said, quoting further, some 11.37% would seek help from Government House's hotline, followed by general lawyers, lawyers from Thai bar under royal patronage. Well, fair point, yeah. Famous lawyers, who's that? 6.87%. So how famous are they if only 6.87% say they'd use them? Quoting further, popular TV programs and social media, 4.96%. So again, how popular are they if only 5% of people said they'd use them? And politicians. So coming in at 1.6% was politicians. So that's the least likely people they're going to go to. Quoting further, so liked less even than lawyers, politicians. Quoting further, the poll was conducted from October 28th to 30th among 1,310 people age 18 and over of various levels of education and occupations throughout the country. So again, I don't know if Bangkok Post is sort of digging at me for this, but look, I've always said what I am. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal. I'm not a Thai attorney. I'm a Thai citizen. I was naturalized to Thai citizenship. And yeah, I can operate in certain spheres that other foreigners cannot operate in because I'm Thai. That's just the way it works. And I'm sorry if people don't like that, but you know, it's how it is.